So we've built our model, we've primed it, we've base coated it, and we've added a wash, so we've shaded it all down. So today we're going to dive into one of the most powerful techniques in miniature painting, dry brushing. It's fast, it's beginner friendly, and it creates instant highlights with almost no effort. But what a lot of people don't realise is that dry brushing isn't just a beginner trick. In advanced painting, it becomes a tool for weathering, textures, and realistic surface effects that can take your models to the next level. So dry brushing is simple. You load your brush with paint, wipe almost all of it off, and then lightly drag the brush over raised details. The tiny amount of paint left on the bristles catches the edges and textures, creating a natural highlight. It's one of the easiest ways to make a model look instantly more three-dimensional. As we covered when we discussed brushes, there are a couple of different types of dry brushes that you can get. Here we have a Citadel one, so a Warhammer one, and it's a traditional rectangle shape, very soft bristles. Here I have the ones that I generally use. They're dry brushes from Artify. They're round headed but really soft bristles. For this little tutorial we'll be using this one. Now you can get them in loads of different sizes. Got a small one here, got a slightly bigger one, got a monster one. But of course for our little beginner series, a medium or small dry brush will be perfect. As I mentioned, the idea here is that we don't paint with a lot of paint, and we use a paper towel, not a wet palette. So we can put a little bit of our light colour that we want to do our highlighting with onto our paper towel. Dab our brush in and just grab a little bit of paint. And the idea here is just wipe most of it off till you're left with a very small amount on the brush. Tiny amounts left on the brush. And now dry brushing is done in soft strokes, just catching the edges of our model. And the idea here is you work the brush away from those dark areas, lightly touching the edges to capture the detail. I always take off too much, but taking off too much is fine because you can always add the paint back on. And here you can add as much or as little as you like. As you can see, we've painted all of our base coats, so sometimes we have to be a little bit careful of the surrounding areas, but of course you could base coat all of your armour and then shade it and then dry brush everything and then do the rest of your base coating. But with just some simple movements of the brush, either up or down. Generally we don't go left to right, up or down is the best way to catch those edges. But very quickly adding those details to the model, picking out those edges, those finer details without the need complex edge highlighting that can take a long time and is a hard thing to do first of all when we're just starting out this hobby. Edge highlighting is an advanced technique. It's a good one, but if you want to get models onto the tabletop quickly, dry brushing can be your friend, because as we mentioned you can quickly get highlights done across lots of models very quickly without too much effort. And as you can see, even though we've painted all of our other details, with the soft approach with the dry brush, very softly, we're just catching the edges that we need to catch. And there we go, very quickly. all the edges, moving the dark blue into those recesses, our mid-tone blue on the softer panels. You can see we've picked out all of that detail there really quickly. It also has the effect of brightening the whole model up. It almost looks 10-20% brighter than when we first started, and that was just a simple few strokes of a brush. And this method can now be used. You can wash your brush out. Dry brushes take a little bit more washing out than normal brushes. Sometimes need to use a little bit of gentle hand soap just to get most of it out. But you can dry brush your metallics, your silvers, any colour with your lighter colour can then be dry brushed over the top. Very simple way of getting some great effect onto your model. So as we've seen, dry brushing is very easy to do. You just need soft hands, not much paint on the bristles, and a nice soft dry brush. Most companies do their own dry brushes. It just depends again what your local gaming store does and what you get in your little set. Try not to go too big because then you can get paint over areas you don't want to. So a small or medium sized dry brush is great for getting started. Obviously, like I mentioned, you can use it across your entire model range, not just your main model, but on the bases as well. And it can be used for advanced techniques for like weathering, texture, some metallic effects, environmental storytelling for some ash and sand and frost and dirt and mud. Dry brushing can be used across the entire model, not just on the main parts and the big parts. You can use it on tiny little bits as well. So learning dry brushing early gives you a foundation you'll use for the rest of your painting journey. It teaches you how paint behaves, how highlights work, and how texture interacts with light. And as you improve, the same technique evolves into a professional level tool for creating depth and realism. So whether you're brand new to painting or already into advanced techniques, dry brushing is something every hobbyist should master. It's fast, it's powerful, and it brings your models to life with almost no effort. And as you saw there, it was 2 or 3 minutes of light dry brushing has nearly completely changed how our model looks, and he is in a great shape to grace the tabletop.